Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm here to tell you a bit about her story. We've got the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria legacy to share with you today. And if you're from Nigeria in the room, quietly wave your hand in the air. Woo! So, the birth of the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria happened in 1974 through an individual member who received the announcement in the post, snail mail, about the 14th Congress in Rio de Janeiro. After which, in 1975, she came back on the 4th of June and started the association in her local branch. In 1976, she then went to the 15th Congress in Tokyo in the company of some friends, colleagues, and it was then that the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria was formally affiliated to MWIA. And then in 1977, on the 23rd of April, the actual inauguration took place. And here are the pioneers in a historic picture. You know, dear friends, I said to somebody this morning, and some of you might have heard this before, when it's very sunny, like it was for those of us who went to the UN, and you're looking for trees, for some shade, spare a thought for those who planted the trees. And therefore, it gives me great delight to give this tribute to our founding mother in the person of Professor Oladaisi Odunton. She would have loved to be here. In fact, when she heard about the Centennial Congress, she said, I am so coming, and I'm coming with my husband. But as things happen, she's been called to a national duty back in Nigeria, and she sends her love. There she is, clad in one of our cultural attires. Ashoke. She was visionary, courageous, pioneering. And as I said before, she was the one who attended the first meeting on behalf of Nigeria. And she told me personally that she got other African countries to join. Prior to that, we only had South Africa as part of MWIA. Those are the dates when she convened the first meeting, and she herself took the position of the first M1 secretary, and she was our first Near East and Africa vice president. She also was the first to win a prize which we call the Irene Ighodaro Prize. You'll be hearing about that shortly. As of when this presentation was prepared, we had 31 states. In this room, we have the national president of the Medical Women's Association. Please give a wave, Madam National President. And just before coming to New York, Joyce, get up! Joyce, get up! Woo! Just before before coming to New York, our indefatigable president inaugurated 3 more branches. So the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria has embarked on cancer screening, legislative advocacy. A very important one I need to mention is the fact that for 14 years in our National Assembly, we had a bill which started out as the Violence Against Women's Bill. Eventually, the name was changed to Violence Against Persons Prohibition Bill because our Legislative Assembly was dominated by males, and they thought, well, let's pass a bill that's inclusive. Fine. But it took 14 years. And the Medical Women's Association played a key role in the passing of what we have today, a bill to end violence against women and girls. So, as is expected, workshops, participation in congresses, international, regional, and national, and outreaches. Let me zero in on one in particular that is close to my heart, and that's the Women's Right to Health Information, the Worthy campaign. It was first muted during the Abimbola Awoliyi lecture by an MWIA member from AMWA called Joyce Brock in 2005. She came all the way to Enugu and gave this lecture. And what's the concept of worthy? It is that because women, especially those in rural areas, bearers, rearers, carers, nurturers, in every home, if they have at their fingertips health information, life-saving information, because they would be the first nurse, the first doctor, the first health personnel, then they're more likely to give the correct first aid in their homes. Very simple. So what we did was to break down in very simple language, using the local languages to bring that health information to rural homes so that women in their homes could attend to their families, but to themselves as well. Because sometimes we forget that they themselves need to be looked after. So with designed flyers, posters, M1 utilizes media also to disseminate simple health facts and information to wider audiences. So what's our connectedness with the parent body, MWIA? There's been an extension of the parent body. We've had visits by MWIA executive, Joan Redshaw in 1977, Helga Thiem in 1978, Waltraud Dieker's House of Blessed Memory in the year 2000, and you see her there. She was our Secretary General. She came to Abuja in the year 2000, Joyce Brack, who I mentioned before, in 2005, and a lady whose birthday we commemorated today, a former international president, Atsuko Heshiki, came to Nigeria in 2008 of blessed memory. And there are international links, several. One amongst them, Gay Casper, give a wave. Stand up. Gay Casper has worked with Nigeria in providing ultrasound machines and fetal Dopplers. How about Nigeria's attendance at MWIA congresses? Need I say more? Need I say more? Large numbers, in fact, one of the things I said, I think it was earlier today, I said, I wonder if they did a totting up of how many members contributed financially to this Congress. What would be the status of Nigeria? We can go and check. So very rich scientific paper presentations, colorful display of culture, and we have had committee chairs. In the year 2001, Professor Peju Olukoya was the scientific chair. In the year 2010, Wadinobi Eleanor was the finance chair. We have held VP positions. Professor Odunton, please, Dr. Ademuluyi is right in the room. We've been mentoring the next generation, I'm stopping now, and we've had the Lovejoy Fellowship, we've had our youth members, we've got some of them in the room here, like Rosemary Ogu. We also celebrate our mentors. Lastly, in the Australian newspapers, recently I said to an Australian friend of mine, oh, my claim to fame is I've been on the front of your newspaper with Dr. Gay at an international meeting. Unfortunately for me, I was talking to somebody in a party, political party, that does not support this newspaper. Ouch. Finally, rewards and recognitions, just like the Irene Godaro Prize here for distinguished, for outstanding contribution. What should we do? Nigeria needs to update the M1 legacy. We call on everybody to have a legacy publication of theirs, and the fabric collage is going to our archives. Thank you very much indeed for listening.